For tonight's homework, we're going to do Chapter 1, Lesson 4. Our instructions say, write a multiplication equation and a division equation for each problem. Then solve the problem. So we have three things to do. We have to draw a multiplication equation, we have to write a division equation, and we have to solve the problem. Okay, let's look at the first one. Mandy's Diner has a total of 20 chairs. The chairs are divided equally among 5 tables. How many chairs are at each table? I'm going to use my same equation. Number of groups times number in the group gives me my total. Now I'm going to fill these in. I have 5 tables. Those would be my groups. I do not know how many are at each table, so that's my unknown. That's where I'm going to put my n. And then equals my total. I know that I have 20 chairs. So there's my multiplication equation. Because I have a missing factor, I solved my problem, my equation here, by doing the opposite operation. So if I'm multiplying here, my opposite operation would be divide. In division, like subtraction, the larger number always comes first. And then I know I have 5 tables, and I want to know how many are at each table. So now I can solve it. So 20 divided by 5 equals, a strategy is to count by 5s until you get to 20 and keep a tally of it. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 4. So then I would write down n equals 4. How many chairs? 4 chairs. Do you see how I went back into my answer to make sure that I'm labeling it correctly? And that's 4 chairs, and then I box my answer. So for this one here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Let's go on to the next one. Tarek divided 30 nickels into 5 piles. He put the same number of nickels in each pile. How many nickels were in each pile? I see this word each. I know that's my unknown. That's what I'm finding out. So I'm going to start with my basic equation, something times each equals n. I know that I have 5 piles, so that would be my group there, 5. I don't know how many I have, so I'm going to put my 0 or my circle there and my n inside of, and then that's going to equal 30. Go back in my problem and find the 30. That's my total. Now, I have a missing factor, so I solve this equation by using the opposite operation. My large number comes first, so 30 divided by 5 equals n. And I'm going to count by 5s up to 30. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more is 6. So 30 divided by 5 equals 6. Now I have to label my answer. So n equals 6. 6 what? How many nickels? 6 nickels. And I box my answer. Look at the next one. A group of singers has 45 members. The singers are arranged in groups of 5 on the stage. How many groups are there? Okay, so here's my groups times my each equals my total. Let's start filling in. How many groups? I don't know, so that's my n. And I times it. Do I know how many are in each group? Groups of 5. Right here tells me groups of 5. So I'm going to put a 5 in there. And that equals, and my total, I go back in my problem, a group of singers has 45 members. There's my equation. Now I solve it because I have a missing factor by the opposite operation of division. I take my large number, 45, divided by 5 equals n. Now actually I'm going to solve it. So 45 divided by 5 equals, again I'm going to count by 5 till I get to 45. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Looking at this from second grade, I know this is a line of 5. So I'm going to say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I found my unknown. N equals 9. Let's go back to my question at the end. How many groups? So I got looking for groups. N equals 9 groups. Here I have my multiplication equation. Here I have my division equation. Here I solve my problem. And here I just labeled it and boxed it. Let's look at this one. Brianna arranged 40 marbles into an array with 5 marbles in each row. How many rows of marbles were in her array? Okay, this is a little different. Now we have number of rows times the number in each row equals my total number, which would be 40. Now we can substitute in. Do we know our number of rows? Here, look at it says, how many rows? That's my question. How many rows of marbles? I don't know how many rows. Do I know how many are in each row? With 5 marbles in each row. So I know this is a 5. Do I know how many marbles I have altogether? Yes. Equals 40. Now I solve it again because I'm missing a factor by dividing, because that's the opposite operation. So 40 divided by 5 equals n. Now I'm actually going to solve the problem. So 40 divided by 5 equals, I'm going to count by 5 till I get to 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Again, I know this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8. So what does it want to know? How many rows of marbles? So n equals 8 rows. And I box my answer. And isn't that what I was trying to find out right here? How many rows? I didn't know that. But I knew they had 5 in a row. So here's my equation for arrays, the same as it would be for groups. My second factor is always how many in a group. And my equals here is always my total or the largest number in the equation. That's it for tonight's homework.